All right, good evening. Welcome, everybody. At this time, we will recall to order the meeting of the Suffern Central Board of Education for Tuesday, December 6, 2022. Let the record reflect all board members are present. Please rise for the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. Student report.
Okay, there we go. Hello, everyone. Regarding events at the high school, tomorrow, December 7th, is the Monty Pride Luncheon. Students are nominated by their teachers for strong character, perseverance, and overcoming obstacles. Thursday, December 8th, is a National Honor Society induction for seniors and juniors at 7 in the auditorium. Thursday, December 15th, is the first winter concert in the auditorium at 7:30. The Suffern High School Book Club will be donating used or new books to the Book Fairies organization. There'll be a box in the main hallway to collect book donations until December 22nd. Suffern High School's Pause for Change Club will be having their third annual Holiday Santa Pause fundraiser and drive. All proceeds and donations go directly to High Tor Animal Shelter from December 5th, December 23rd. The club will be collecting items such as blankets, dog and cat toys, dog and cat food, kitty litter, disposable gloves, paper towels, leashes and collars, and other items. The Heroes and Cool Kids Club is partnering with the Village of Suffern Police Department for collecting toys for the Suffern Christmas Toy Drive. The Interacting Key Clubs will be organizing donations for non-perishable foods, gloves, warm clothes. That will go to Meals on Wheels organization. Operation Smile is collecting school supplies and gently used backpacks for those in need. The boys varsity basketball team has its second game of the season this Friday at 6:30 in the Rich Bosco tournament against New Rochelle. The boys varsity hockey team has its second game as well of the season on Friday at 7 p.m. against Merrimack at Sportorama. And the girls varsity hockey team skates against Lake Placid at 9:15 as well at Sportorama. Thank you.
All right, thank you. 1.08 minutes of the regular meeting of November 18th, 2022. Do I have a motion? Mr. Donnelly, second. Mr. Frazier. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those against? Any abstentions? Okay. 1.09, superintendent comments.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. We have the pleasure of having our audit report today. And to get things started and do some introductions, I'm going to turn this over to our business administrator, Dr. Castlewain.
Thank you very much. Each school district is required to have an external audit completed annually. This year's audit included financial statements of governmental activities, each major fund, and the aggregate remaining fund information. The EFPR group has completed the 21-22 audit, and I would like to introduce Doug Zimmerman to present the findings.
Good evening, everyone. As was mentioned, I'm Doug Zimmerman, partner with the EFPR group. And for those of you that don't know, this is our first year doing the audit. The district went out for a competitive RFP process back in the spring, and we were the awardees of that. And certainly, hey, I'm pleased to present the results here tonight. We'll be issuing what's called an unmodified or a clean opinion on the district's financial statements. There are no exceptions noted in the preparation of the underlying accounting records that deviated from generally accepted accounting principles. So that's certainly what you'd want to receive.
I'm sorry, 1 second. There's a lot of static coming through on that microphone. Ms. Weber, would you mind maybe just swapping out the microphones so it's a little bit clearer? Thank you. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Mr. Coronado, I did that. You did hear that, right? Okay.
Better?
Much better. Thank you so much. Sorry to interrupt you.
Oh, quite all right. Thank you. We also issue a written opinion on your compliance with the federal guidelines under uniform guidance, or what's more commonly called single audit requirements. The district received over $8.5 million of federal dollars, and we're required to audit your expenditure of those in compliance with the federal requirements. And we're certainly happy to report that we'll be issuing a clean opinion with regards to that as well. And that's certainly, again, what the district and the governing board would want to see. We also do an audit of the extra classroom activity fund, and that is also a clean opinion. As part of our audit, we do a planning meeting with the audit committee back in the late spring. We developed an audit plan, and we're happy to report that there were no deviations during the course of the engagement that caused us to change from that plan. So everything went according to the audit plan. Excuse me. The major federal programs that we did audit, most of the dollars were expended in the Education Stabilization Fund, which was a new fund related to the ARPA funding. A number of districts across the state have had problems with that, as the federal government issued guidelines after they gave you the money, sometimes after districts had actually expended it. So again, you should take comfort in the fact that management was able to navigate all of that and again, comply with those guidelines and give you a clean bill of health. There was one other item I wanted to mention. As part of the planning process, we were made aware of an over collection of tax revenues in the prior fiscal year, obviously before we were engaged. However, as part of our audit procedures, we did look into that matter. The original tax levy was $112.8 million. The district had actually collected $113.6. And again, this is for the 2020-21 fiscal year. So it's an over collection of $835,000. And one of the things we wanted to look at is to make sure that there were appropriate controls in place, that there was no issue with regards to expenditure of those dollars outside of the guidelines of the district. What really ended up happening is that those dollars are now sitting in your general fund unassigned fund balance. So they were over collected in 21, not expended. They sat in the unassigned general fund balance at the end of 21, and they still reside there at June 30th of 2022. So that was, something that was unusual for a district, and we certainly took a hard look at that and wanted to report back to the board members. That was everything I wanted to touch on. We did have an opportunity before this meeting to review in detail the results with the audit committee and answer any questions they had. And with that, I'll open it up if any of the board members have any other follow-up questions.
Right. Thank you. And I'll also say just thank you as the audit committee chair. Just thank you for meeting with us earlier this evening to, like you said, to go through this in much more detail with the audit committee. Are there any board members that have specific questions for Mr. Zimmerman? Anything they wanted to ask or anything that they wanted to know? Looks like you're off the hook.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, and everyone have a pleasant evening.
All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. And we look forward to an ongoing relationship throughout the course of the year with our business office and the auditors to ensure that we continue to have a clean bill of health financially as we continue on through this fiscal year. I want to finish up my superintendent's comments by acknowledging a really productive, sometimes challenging, but all negotiation sessions are challenging to some extent. But I want to acknowledge the Suffern Education Association negotiations team for an extremely professional, very fair and balanced negotiation sessions for this collective bargaining agreement. The collective bargaining agreement is up for Board of Education approval. My understanding is that it's already been approved by the SEA. And I want to thank the SEA for their working relationship. I think that this agreement acknowledges the high level of professionalism that's exhibited by the staff members in the Suffern Education Association, especially through the last couple of years with the challenges of COVID. You really were incredibly impressive, and we're all very thankful and proud of your efforts in helping our students and the district continue to move forward educationally. This agreement also protects the taxpayers as well, as the SEA has made some considerable concessions with regards to their health plan contributions, both during their time of employment as well as during retirement. And then really the other big topic that I'm excited about to share is the fact that we are going to be increasing the number of superintendent conference days. So another day of professional development that the SCA members have agreed to participate in, which is only going to reap benefits for our students in the years to come by having that much more additional professional development time. So I want to thank the SCA once again for a productive session, and I leave it up to the Board of Education to hopefully approve this collective bargaining agreement. Thus concludes my superintendent's report. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you to everybody who was involved with the negotiations. I was not personally, but I did hear that it was a very positive working relationship between the SEA and the district, and I think that that's just great to hear. I think it's extremely important for everybody here to be working towards a common goal, which is the students, and it just seems like a much more positive environment than I've probably ever been around since I've been on the board. So just thank you for everybody who was involved with that process. Moving on, 1.10 public participation. This is public participation on action items only. If there is anybody who wishes to speak on tonight's action items, please approach the podium. Please just state your name, affiliation, and please try to keep it to 3 minutes. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Patty Marina. I'm here tonight wearing the hat as the Chief Negotiator of the Suffern Educational Association. Tonight, you will have an opportunity to vote on a collective bargaining agreement between the SCA and the Suffern Central School District. Committee members from both the Board of Education and the SCA negotiation team spent countless hours together to come up with a fair agreement, one that benefits both sides. During this process, we challenged each other to think creatively, to find compromises that were fair and reasonable. Throughout our conversations, we were collegial, professional, and respectful. I value the participation of the board members who were involved in this negotiation and believe that our collective creativity has helped to craft an agreement that will allow our district to maintain the highest standards of education for our students. It is my hope that the relationship between the district and the teachers continues to be one of mutual respect, trust, and cooperation. A sincere thank you to all of you, Dr. Gunderson and Mr. Matone, and I wish you all a healthy and happy holiday. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other speakers for action items? All right. So for our action items tonight, I will call for a consent agenda. Tonight we have action items 2.01 through 2.18. Is there anything that anyone wishes to pull from the consent agenda at this time? Okay. Then for this, do I have a motion then for consent agenda 2.01 through 2.18? Mrs. Shapiro, second. Dr. Nickpon. All those in favor signify by saying aye. 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 All those against? Any abstentions? Thank you all very much. Congratulations on the contract to my SCA members sitting here tonight. .01 Advocacy Committee update. I believe Ms. Dickman, you're gonna take that one.
I am. All right. So the Advocacy Committee met on Friday, December 2nd. This committee consists of me and Matt Kern, Tom Donnelly, and Dr. Gunderson was also here on behalf of the district. And the purpose of the Advocacy Committee is to meet throughout the year to discuss topics that affect the school district and to organize efforts and advocate for them to improve public education in specific areas. These are public meetings, but they are somewhat more informal than what you see at a traditional school board meeting. And this month, our topic was dyslexia. And we were very pleased to have had two members from SPLASHED, which is Suffern Parents for Literacy Action, Support and Help Educating Dyslexics, who could join us at that meeting and spend the time with us to talk a little bit more in depth about their concerns, and really certainly more than the board hears during a 3-minute presentation at a school board meeting. So we were happy to have them. And what we talked about this month was what the district can do and what the district is currently doing to aid students with dyslexia. And this topic encompasses a large number of areas. And since we have a lot of people speaking tonight, I'm going to give sort of a brief summary of that meeting. But it includes screening, support, remediation, training for teachers, information sessions for parents, evaluating curriculum to improve it for dyslexic readers and emerging readers overall. And finally, cost, which is its own big question. I shouldn't say question, topic. I'm going to get to that in a little while. As far as what the district is doing so far, our advocacy committee meeting just happened to coincide with the NWEA training that was taking place in this room at the same time for the literacy instructors that was training them to do a screening process that would identify students that had indications of dyslexia, as well as other obstacles to being a successful reader overall. Also, Dr. Gunderson has met with the SPLASHED group to talk to them without the board present about their concerns. And we approved a contract tonight for Dr. Molly Ness, who's going to be educating the members of this district in the science of reading and also having an information session for parents. So that'll be coming up. As far as cost is concerned, sort of there's two big issues. One, of course, is the cost of implementing the programs and the training, but also what we're going to look at is what costs are going to be saved overall by investing in a comprehensive program for dyslexia for this district, by reducing the number of interventions that are needed for students in the upper elementary grades and in the middle school and the high school. If you have more students who are reading at grade level, they can take advantage of the many excellent programs that the school district offers in science and theater, AP classes, and in civics. If you're matching achievement to academic achievement to intellectual level, you're going to have higher test scores, more college admissions, and less reliance of outside programs, which we want students to choose because they want to pursue those areas of study, not because they are not getting the support that they need in this district and they feel like they have to turn to them. And really most importantly is last year, our big topic of discussion was how to make Suffern a standout school district. Because one of the best things about living in this area is the number of really excellent school districts that there are. And we are one of those good school districts, but what can we do to make Suffern better, to make it stand out from what's currently offered? And one of those ways is in implementing programs for dyslexia, because it's desperately needed. It's really not available much in the public schools. There are private schools that have them, but they are at some distance away and also very, very costly for most families. So we're really looking to bring that in as much as we can. And really, the board recognizes that there are two big competing concerns here. And one is that reading is fundamental to all other areas of study. And families that have students who are families with children who are struggling with dyslexia need the help today. They need it yesterday. And the board is very, very cognizant of that feeling. At the same time, the board is obligated to assess the number of students who do need the aid and evaluate and discuss how to properly implement a program that's beneficial and effective. And we wish that that could happen today or yesterday, but the district is taking steps to make that happen. And we are meeting and listening with families that need it. And it is very much a topic among this board as to how to bring that to Suffern. So that is, hold on. Yeah. Okay. One more page. Our next meeting is going to be in February. We don't have a date assigned yet, but we're going to be talking more about dyslexia and also talking about the steps that have been taken so far for what the district is doing and talk about what's ahead. So thank you.
Thank you. That was really a great recap of our meeting and all the discussions that were had. Does anybody have any questions for Marlo just by chance? Does anybody have anything about any of the topics that were discussed at the meeting? All right. Well, I'm going to have you write all my notes for me whenever I have to speak, because that was great. It was just a really wonderful recap of everything that we're looking to do and all the great work that I think lies ahead. So thank you. 6.01 board member comments. Are there board member comments at this time?
Yeah, I'd like to just reach out and thank the SEA for a very fair. I really think you took the district and the community financials into consideration during these negotiations. I see the give back, as Dr. Gunderson mentioned, and again, just a very professional organization. I think it's a very fair contract. We're going to be able to live with it. The taxpayers are going to be happy, I believe, happy with it. And I just wish you all well. But thank you for your professionalism. And I thank the people on the board for the time that you guys used attending the meetings and everything. But thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Shapiro?
Yeah, I hate following Tommy because usually whatever he says is something that I want to say. But so Matt, look right every once in a while rather than looking left. Right, he always looks left. I know, it's just one of those
just
things.
the way it's just easier to just go.
All right, I also want to thank the SEA. All of the reports that the board received just said how smooth and how professional. Not that we would have expected anything else, but obviously it was very positive for both sides. And I want to personally thank fellow board members Marlo, Darrell, and Chris for being the reps from the board and the work that you put in, and of course the time that you put in. And listen, the teaching staff at Suffern Central is an outstanding staff, and it comes from their dedication to the students and to the families, and it also comes from the leadership that they have. So I want to thank Patty, and I want to thank John. Really, this was something, and usually when districts hear of it's time for negotiations with the teaching association, it's always, oh, this is going to be tough. This is going to be tough. This was very smooth and very professional, and that's the way it should be. So kudos to everyone involved. And Tommy, at the next meeting, I'm not going to follow you.
You sounded a lot better than I do.
Any other comments on this side of the table?
I have one more.
Ms. Dickman?
Not that you haven't heard from me enough. Okay. So I just wanted to remind people about the Pause for Change fundraiser that was brought up during the student report. They often do, and did this year, do a Halloween fundraiser, Howl-a-ween. And when I say it rained on their parade, it poured on their parade. It was like ridiculous at Clark Park. So keep that fundraiser in mind. They weren't, able to do what they really wanted to in October. But if you're a big animal lover, like people I know, I'm sure your donations would be much appreciated. Thanks.
Thank you.
I just wanted to echo what's been said already about the negotiations with the SEA. As someone who was in the room, it was really striking how collegial, how professional everyone was, and it really was a very smooth process. And I think it's a contract that is fair for both sides. And I think it was a great experience to see everyone working together in terms of putting the students first. And I think we got a good result out of it. So I just wanted to give my thanks to the SEA.
Thank you. Any other comments? No. Good. Okay. I do want to make one comment. This is in response to the audit presentation. I did want to just make one thing clear, because I'm sure there will be questions. The overcollection of taxes to the tune of about $835,000, which was brought to the attention of this board and the public, back in the early summer, back in the spring, early summer, has, it's been something that I know has probably caused some grief to taxpayers and the people that watch. And I just want to make clear for everybody that number one, as Mr. Zimmerman had said during the presentation, those funds that were overcollected are in a general fund, not being used, completely intact. And the goal of this board and administration is to apply those funds in the spring when we do our budget, to apply those funds to whatever our proposed plan will be to offset part of any potential increase that will come. So it's not feasible to reimburse every taxpayer out of that money. Logistically, that's just impossible. But those funds will not be used until they are allocated to our next budget as essentially a credit on behalf of the district. So I did want to just make that clear so everybody understands why that money is here and how it will be utilized come next school year. And that'll close board member comments. So 7.01, public participation. This is public participation on any district-related business. If you have any comments, please step to the podium, state name, affiliation. No? Anyone? Yep. Oh, we got one. All right.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jacqueline Camilo. I am an ENL teacher over at Cherry Lane. Just wanted to give you guys a little update about what's going on over at our school. Cherry Lane has been very busy academically and, more importantly, focusing on filling the buckets of others through events of kindness and community building. The goals of this year are not only to provide our students with the best possible education, but also to ensure that their school is a place that they want to come to each day to learn, explore, and grow alongside their peers. We are connecting with students and families on a daily basis and creating opportunities within our school that we really missed these past few years. Early in the year, the ENL department hosted our annual parent orientation. This gave our ENL families an opportunity to learn about our school community, meet our clinical staff, have their questions answered, and gain some insight on how to best support their child at home. This is one way that we honor the importance of creating these connections with our families and providing them with the support they need, especially families that are new to our district. On November 3rd, we hosted a literacy night sponsored by our wonderful PTA. This was a culminating event that went along with our completion of our One School, One Book titled Fenway and Hattie by Victoria J. Cole. Students, families, and staff came together to participate in literacy activities, which included a live Twitter feed, question and answer session with the author and point of view activities. Students had the opportunity to take home books to add to their home libraries, get their faces painted, and create squirrel feeders. There was a great turnout of families in our community and smiling faces all around as they were able to celebrate and participate in activities around the book that we read as a school. Over in Primary Foundations, which is our kindergarten, first and second grade program at Cherry Lane, we have not only been focusing on their reading, writing, and math skills, but have decided to incorporate the 12 days of kindness into their daily routine for the month of December. Students choose those that are important to them within the school, whether it be encore teachers, lunchroom staff, custodians, etc., to say thank you for all they do throughout the year. Primary feels that creating a positive school culture is the key to making school more than just a building. There are other ways we're doing that as well throughout. At the start of each day, our morning announcements include a list of students and special acts of kindness that are taking place around our building. Our fifth graders have been setting examples of this for the rest of the school year since the start of the year. They are also known as our fifth grade Cherry Langels. Heartwarming, colorful posters hang throughout the school, donation boxes line the hallways, and student-led morning announcements help promote good deeds that take place each month at Cherry Lane. During the month of October, the Cherry Langels conducted our annual Socktober event and collected 741 pairs of socks for the needy. Our No Hunger November event yielded 250 pounds of food for the Sloatsburg Food Pantry. Currently, our Good Deed December toy drive is underway. Upcoming events include the Super Bowl can drive, as well as a pet supply drive in the spring, which benefits local animal shelters. The fifth grade handbell choir is out and about in the community again. They were at the Village of Suffern tree lighting on December 2nd, but you can still come out and see them Tuesday, December 20th at the Palisades Mall at 6:30 to 7 and 8 to 8:30. Our clinical staff has been providing classroom lessons focused on knowledge and skills relating to gratitude, kindness, and empathy. They maintain a continuous effort to help families feel connected to the school, both through community events and hearing from parents to understand their home perspective, while sharing with them the educator's lens in order to have a cooperative perspective of our students' academic and social emotional needs, strengths, and areas of growth. It helps our parents feel assured that we have their family's best interest in mind and encourages active participation in their child's education. By fostering deeper connections between school and home, we help our students feel safe, valued, and wanting to take care of each other. As we have shared today, Cherry Lane has continued to focus on the importance of teaching the whole child, both academically and emotionally. Our classrooms and hallways are filled with student work, rich conversations, and a genuine love of learning and community. We look forward to continuing to teach our Cherry Lane students academically and socially and sharing our stories with you all. Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you. Any other speakers? Okay. And I'll close this portion of the meeting and we will move to closing superintendent comments.
Except for thanking all the work that's being done at Cherry Lane and our other schools. Thank you very much for that overview. I have no further comments.
All right, great. Then we will make a motion to adjourn. Our next meeting will be in 2 weeks, Tuesday, December 20th. And in the meantime, have a great couple of weeks. And do I have a motion to adjourn? Is that Mrs. Hodge? Second? Second. Ms. Dickman? All those in favor signify by saying aye. 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 Thank you all very much. This meeting is adjourned. Have a great week.